I'm Lori Reynolds. I'm here with Zephyr, and today I'd like to show you how to start teaching a handstand. So a handstand against a wall, a handstand up on your arm. Zephyr doesn't quite have this behavior finished yet. He's getting really close, but we'll walk through the steps that I took to get him there. So the very first step is to teach your dog to put their rear paws on an object. And if you watch the backup video, there's a pretty detailed explanation of the steps I went through to get him to back up onto an object. I just walked him across, and as his rear feet hit the disc, I clicked and rewarded. Yes, good boy. So I'd walk him back across. Once I had that step, then I would pull him off just a couple of inches towards me and put a little bit of body pressure on him to cause him to want to step back. And as soon as he stepped back and put his rear feet on there, I clicked and reward. Yes, good boy. Yes, good boy. The next step that I took was to go out a little further and get him to back up a little further. That's all part of teaching that whole backup chain. This is actually all that we need right now, is just a couple of feet. Yes, good boy. So we'll move on to the next step. All right, the next step in this sequence was to get Zephyr to learn to back up onto my arm. I changed his cue to get him up, to get his paws up on my arm. And the way I did that is I just lured him, good boy, he's looking for the disc with his feet, good boy. I just lured him forward a little bit and asked him for rear paws. Yes, good boy, on the disc. And then I move that disc up onto my arm. Hey, buddy. Rear paws, rear feet. Yes, good boy, nice job. And started asking him for those rear feet on the disc that was on my arm, and then I took the disc off, and now I can just put my arm out. Get him up. Yes, good boy. Wait, come here. Get him up. And here's where a release cue comes in very handy. Good boy. Okay, good job. Very good. And while you're teaching this, you're going to want to reward in that position. So I would want to have some cookies in my left hand. Tell him, get them up. Yes, good boy. And just reward on the floor right in front of him. Yes, wait. Wait. Good boy. Okay. Good job. And then give her a release cue. All right, from that step, the next step is to get them to put their rear paws up on something other than your arm. So what we're trying to do, there's a couple of ways to teach handstand on a wall. One way is to teach them to back up a ramp, which in a lot of cases is an easier trick to teach, but it doesn't teach them to lift their hind end. So if you ever want them to be able to do a handstand on their own, they have to learn to lift that hind end to get it up on the wall. They don't learn that by climbing up a wall backwards. So I chose to teach it on the side of a pedestal, and this is kind of the stage we are at right now, is this pedestal plus one higher. I'm going to tell him, get him up. And he's learned to lift his feet up onto that pedestal. Ready? Good boy. Get him up. Good boy, yes. Wait. So you can see that he is actually lifting his body to find that pedestal with his feet. Okay, and that's what you want. Ready? Get him up. Yes, good boy. You saw the little hop, he's lifting his body. Now, one thing I'm going to say about this trick, you guys, this takes weeks of conditioning. So don't try to get your dog, to learn this all in one day. It requires a lot of core strength. And so your dog is going to be very tired after doing this for a few minutes. Build their strength up slowly. This isn't a trick you can teach in one day. All right, get him up. Get him up. Yes, good boy. Good. Nice job. And I'm rewarding him for some duration on this pedestal. Okay. And telling him it's okay to get off. The next step in this trick is to start stacking things on this pedestal where they have to lift their back ends up higher and higher. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a couple of my little wooden targets. It's better if you have something that covers the whole front of this pedestal, so we're going to make this work. All right, ready? Get him up. So now you see he's lifting higher. Oh, try again. Get him up. To find, good boy. Yes, there you go. Oops, try again. To find that higher pedestal. Get him up. Yes, good boy. And I'm rewarding on the ground right in front of him. Okay. And then letting him choose after I release when to get down. So we'll do that again. There you go. Good boy. Good. Okay. And let him get down. So I'm going to up the ante a little bit. We've been at this stage. He's doing pretty well at this stage. I'm going to put something taller on here and see if he can still get his feet up there. Good. And if that happens where they inadvertently do a handstand, definitely reward that. Okay. Good boy. Good job. Try it again. Come up. Yes, good boy. Wait. Okay, good boy. Nice job. With a dog that hasn't done a lot, that time of a training session is all I would do. He's done quite a bit of this. I'm going to push him just a little bit harder. All right, once you get them where they're swinging their feet up on something that's horizontal and they are in that handstand position, then you're going to move that to something that is vertical. We're going to try it with this table and see if he can get his feet up on a vertical surface. We have not done this before yet. I'm not going to do it too many times because I don't want to push him physically too far, or mentally for that matter, but we're going to try it and see what we get here. After you get to this stage and you get him up on the wall, one of the reasons you've been throwing cookies is so that in front of their nose is so that you can move away a little bit. So I'm going to ask him, get him up. Not on me, Goof. Oh, yes, good boy. And I'm going to reward that on the ground in front of him. Good boy, okay. Good job, nice job. And of course, you're going to want to drop the luring and drop the number of commands it takes and just have him do it in one. And then I'm going to add my handstand cue once he's got it. That's all the steps. So you're going to teach him to back up onto something and get him a rear feet command or back feet or whatever you want to use for their rear paws. Then you're going to have them back up. So they get back up and put their feet on it. After that step, you're going to incline that a little bit and get them, you don't have to do the intermediate step of getting their paws on your arm, but I found it's really helpful because they want to be close to you while they're trying to do this. So I do that intermediate step of getting their back paws up on your arm. Then you can get them up on a surface and start increasing the height of that surface. And you know, if you're going from a disc, I would start with just something that's just a little bit taller than the disc and continue to progress up. Don't start with a climb. And then finally you move that to the vertical and you add your final cue, you drop the lure, and then you've got a handstand up against the wall. Come on. Very good. Wait. Good job. Good job. Okay, get him up. Wait. Good boy. Nice job. What a good boy. If you've got questions or have trouble that you need help troubleshooting, comment in the Facebook group and I will do my best to help you out. Good job. What a good boy. You're so smart. Good job.